Whew. All right. Oh, what's going on, everybody? Good afternoon. We're back. We're going to be doing something a little different. We're going to be heading out of Jackson International today to DFW. I've been kind of watching the weather, so I've been holding off on getting everything going, but I think looks like the weather's starting to line out here in the Dallas area, so we'll take the old trusty MD-83 out, and hopefully it should be a fairly decent flight. I've been using the GX sets gates now from FS Dream Team, even though it's a Southwest gate. It'll be all right for right now. Not gonna be overly petty. So get this thing fired off here and set up. Now I do have the passenger boarding activated. I've been meaning to try to deactivate it because sometimes it can take quite some time to get everybody boarded. But we'll go ahead and at least start the boarding process now. So hopefully by the time we're done, should be all ready to go and everything. So run this real quick. Let's see.
PA and emergency light test.
Emergency lights, okay. Alright, cool. And emergency lights back to arm. No smoking on. This aircraft is powered up, so the position lights should be on. And try to scooch myself over a little bit. I really need to get like an add-on like chase plane or something like that to help me out with the cameras. Sometimes it gets a little tedious at times. All right, yeah, just a quick double check of the overhead panel to make sure everything's set up appropriately, so we can at least start the programming the flight management computer and all that fun stuff. I think we're at least to that point for now. We'll go ahead and get some air in for the passengers. Get some air circulating.
Yes, sir.
Air conditioning.
Low pressure air, please. Stand by. Okay, here comes pressure.
Sweet. All right. Okay, let's slide on over here. Sim brief. So we're gonna utilize the ACARs for this one. At least try to the best of our ability. So it doesn't necessarily change the process. It just kind of makes it a little more, um, in line with real world operations, so to speak. So we'll play with this a little bit. Scheduled date. So right now we're just getting the ACARs initialized for the trip. If I can type today. Dallas Fort Worth. And see 1900. I know we're not going to make these times, but we'll put it in there. We'll put them in there anyway. Let's see. Old MD-83. And I can foresee probably a bumpy ride getting into Dallas. Which I don't know, maybe it's just me in my old age, but it's kind of where I do prefer a older design rather than something like an Airbus or something like that. Just I don't know, just you have a lot of problems, especially when you get drastic variations in speed. Sometimes that toggle lock tends to be a little cumbersome dealing with when you're in the terminal area trying to get just a lot of speed changes and things like that. So if you get a bad wind shear, that toggle lock kicks in, which is that's what it's designed to do. But doesn't, you know, doesn't make it any easier. So let's see, taxi. Always 800 pounds. I don't think we'll burn. Well, we may burn that out nowadays. These dinosaurs for engines we have, we might burn that, and then some. Let's see. So we probably have the ACARS notification. We know that. Send that. And let's see, flight plan. Just type that in. So, for those of you who have not, I don't know if you can deactivate it, but you can speed the boarding. You know what? And I did. I thought I did at least. What's going on, Mr. Woods? I thought I did. But then again, timings. Yeah. You know what? Now it's refilling. Yeah, I bumped the density up to very dense. Let's see. I don't know. I might break something. I don't know. Be alright. Oh, excuse me. Alright. Oh, man. Hope everyone's having a very fairly quiet Saturday. I had to go. I had to make a trip to Best Buy. I really hate going to Best Buy. I prefer Micro Center, but I had to go to Best Buy to get a battery backup. Like, for some reason, this area gets a lot of dirty power, and I'm just wreaking all kinds of havoc. Sometimes it'll trip my breaker, and just all kinds of problems. So I ended up having to buy a APC. What is this? 1100 volt, something like that, battery backup. And we'll see how that goes. Hopefully it alleviates some of the issues I've been having. We'll see. So if you guys lose me, that's exactly what happened. Alright, so position initialization is done. So with this new upgrade with ACARS and all that fun stuff, it really helps to have the MDR file from SimBrief and the OFP, and then you can take that and you can drop it in your MacDog files, MacDog files folder under routes. And I don't know if it makes a difference, but it's always helped me to name it as OFP.txt for your for that text file that comes with it. And yeah, I haven't had any issues with it finding anything, so just FYI. Starting out is quite convoluted to get everything set up initially, but once you get set up, and get a little routine going, it's not too bad. Now the cruising altitude, I think they're looking for 34,000. What's our zero fuel weight? Okay, we should be fairly light, so it shouldn't be too bad. So we'll activate that. And flight plan's fairly straightforward. I believe it's direct Monroe, then direct Yuyun, and then somewhere else. I can't. Where is it? Oh yeah, Yuyun, which is transitioned in Buri 1 into 3-5 left. So like I said, pretty straightforward. Let's see, departure. Where the heck we're at in Jackson? Let me see. I can kind of tell you. Let's see. So we'll probably. Oh, which one's closer? Let's roll with that. Okay, that's okay. Yeah, that's all right. So we'll probably. Let's see, where we're facing. All right, so we'll be doing like 1/6 left, I think. That'll be the runway. So 1/6 left. Bam, throw that in there. Then go ahead and. Now, normally, okay, so let's boarding complete. That's awesome. All right, so it does seem to help bringing up the density a little bit. So definitely good call on that one, sir. All right, yep, we know. Looks like they're shutting doors and all that fun stuff. So that's cool. Bree 1, Tandy, I think Yuyun or something. I don't know. I feel like I'm messing that up, but I don't know. 18.5 normal for the field schedule. All right, let's go ahead and fire up the APU. So we'll turn on our battery fuel pump, battery powered DC fuel pump, and master on. Go ahead and crank that guy up. Hopefully, I did do the weekly check, so I'm hoping our APU cooperates today. If not, it shouldn't be too big of a deal, but we may have to do like an air start. So let's double check. Now this is where it does, it's kind of nice in regards to this new 8-car system they have. So we can go here and check our load sheet, acknowledge that. So what, 115.8 is our zero fuel weight. And then the flight plan, which we know that, and obviously crew message, you know, just your, that was the preliminary weight. So, you know, the load sheet we just got is the, it should be the final numbers there that we'll use. So 115.8, and I'll probably forget it by the time I get to the performance initialization screen. 115.8, there we go, 115.8. And then the reserves, I believe, are like 2 point something, maybe 3. I probably should have added a little bit, but a little bit more, but I think we'll be fine. Final reserve 2.8, yeah, 2.8. I think Oklahoma is our alternate, and talking about the alternate, especially today, is a very real possibility. So we had a lot of weather come through the area, so alright. Hopefully burn the starter up. Alright, get some, I'll go ahead and get the packs going. Your air conditioning packs on. Yeah, she's not going to give us 34,000 feet. I don't even know what I was thinking. We'll do 32. Let's see, double check the cruise winds, which helps out on our fuel calculations. So we want to try to get those as accurate as possible. Now, you may have to interpolate, but SimBrief does do a really good job of giving us pretty much 32, 34, pretty much all of our altitudes there we'll be using. Let's see. Negative 45 there. All right, and takeoff. So we'll pull out our little speed card. 133, 136, and 145 if I can type today. 145. To double check everything, and normally I'll just do a quick run through on the legs page, make sure everything's kosher. Yep, should be good to go there. Go away. There we go. We're gonna go there. So let's see. Seatbelt signs on. That beacon light on. And right now, I think we should be good to go to disconnect external air.
Yes, sir.
Disconnect air.
Clear to disconnect. Thanks.
All right, do this quick once over the doors. Make sure doors are closed. Verify, make sure, visually make sure they're closed. Then we'll do a push back to the right. Gotta check our speeds. Jump over here. Everything fired up, so we'll go ahead and turn on our aux and trans pump, and then we'll go ahead and position our engine driven hydraulic pumps to high right now. And while they're doing all the hooking up and everything, we'll set our takeoff trim, since that tends to be a little time consuming. Not too bad, but
locking gear.
I don't know about you guys, but have you guys had just your controls just do a whole bunch of weird things? That's quite weird. Let's double check my controls real quick before we get out of here. For some reason my throttle quadrant decided to be the field control switches. Did it go black over there? Yeah, it went black for you guys. Hold on 1 second. Let me flight quadrant, flight yoke. Let me yeah, so completely lost my really? So we're just gonna be the propeller axis today. We're just doing all kinds of awesomeness. Yeah, now we're just gonna be the mixture. Goodness gracious, this flight's gonna be interesting. Oh my gosh. Alright guys, we should be getting some video here shortly. I've got to readjust my controls because apparently P3D just wants to do whatever the heck it wants to do today. Just amazing to me how, you know, I have done nothing to really mess up to do anything. I've done nothing as far as like the CG file is concerned today. So I find that very, very interesting as to what would cause my settings to just all of a sudden not want to work. So we're not even recognizing that as a button, so that's awesome. Hold on 1 second guys. Decrease. Wow. Let's see here. Come on. Alright, so yeah, we'll just do that for right now for reverse thrust. Goodness gracious, holy smokes. That's awesome. That is awesome. Alright, so let's go ahead and fire this thing up. So we'll go ahead and turn off our packs. Packs off, make sure we're getting good bleed air pressure there. Fuel pumps on both sides. Center pump set to auto. Ignition selector to system B for right now. Make sure we're clear and right, clear on the right hand side, and go ahead and fire up the right engine. And let's see, N2's coming up, waiting for 23%. Guys, I think it's time for some new controls. Well, lately I've just been having a lot of issues with my yoke. Now, granted, in its defense, I've had this yoke since like 2013. So how are we providing fuel? Man, I hope I don't hard start it. Come down, okay. That's quite weird. Could not get it to boot up. That's weird. I don't think it should be associated to your FXX installation. I would double check to make sure that doesn't start. Does it give you any errors or anything, or does it just you try to click on the icon and it just doesn't do anything? It's probably what I would try doing. Now, if it's a situation where you click on it and nothing happens, double check, hit Control Alt Delete, double check your services and make sure you don't have that like the service to be running, but it doesn't do anything visually as far as so you're not getting like any kind of start messages or anything like that. So I will double check that first and foremost. Make sure, because it could be perhaps the installation got corrupted or something like that. Was it an upgrade or just a full-blown installation?
Takeoff thrust set.
Oh, so now we're setting takeoff thrust. Awesome. Man, what's going on? Okay, so that's going Alright, so bleed air valves closed. APU bus left and right is off. Yaw damper on. Packs are on. Anti-eyes on. And looks like he's unhooked there. Let's do a flight control check real quick, because I'm just not. That concerns me. That concerns me. It really does. Let me check rudders. All right, got my rudder pedal, so we're good there. All right. But yeah, Mr. Woods, double check that, man, because that doesn't make a whole lot of sense. Holy smokes, I'm not getting anything. What's going on? What is going on? Alright, so we're just going to have to use the keyboard in this one. Holy cow. Alright, so flaps 15 there. This might actually work out a little better anyway, honestly. Yeah, because I know when I first installed P3D, I did run into a few issues for sure, but I have heard people say you want to try to not install P3D on your C drive. If you do have the ability to install it on another drive, they do recommend you installing it on another drive. If I'm recalling that correctly. They do actually prefer that. Alright, looks like we're on the move there. So, didn't tell you guys this. So I actually had the opportunity to, and it's honestly probably one of the last trips for me on the MD-83. I took a flight, had a business trip from Milwaukee back to Dallas, and had the opportunity of riding on the MD-83, and of course I took seat 27, I think, row 27, just like right by the engines, and of course it was an amazing trip, an amazing flight. I was probably the only nostalgic fellow in there, but didn't really get a chance to talk to the flight crew. I kind of wanted to at least check out the flight deck, but you know, because you can kind of tell when they're trying to do a quick turn, you know, they're getting everything ready to go and all that fun stuff. So I left them be, but it was definitely nostalgic moment, since this is probably the last time we'll be seeing them. But like I said, the flight was fairly uneventful. Smooth ride. I did kind of pay attention. I was making some little comparisons here and there between, you know, the Fly the Mac Dog and, you know, as far as sound wise, and I did notice like a little bit more of a Rolls Royce-ish buzzsaw sound that you normally get, that you don't quite get from our version. Now, up front, you're not going to hear that, obviously, but I have, you know, you'll listen to like, you know, the exterior views and things like that to see if you can kind of like hear like the little subtle nuances. And I couldn't. Oh, there's some convective activity up yonder way, so we're gonna have to be mindful of that. It was just clear a few minutes ago, although I think it's flooding in Mississippi right now. So prayers definitely go out to families who are affected by that, because that's not fun. But yeah, I did notice a little subtle difference. Nothing crazy or anything, but you know, it would be nice to maybe perhaps get another sound pack. I know Oh man, who are those guys? TSS, I think, Turbine Sound Solutions or something. They did a click on the icon and it loads the scenery, and that's it. Icon disappears. I click, happens to restart the computer. Yeah, it sounds like a it it's almost sounding like maybe a botched installation. Um, is that a fresh install, a P3D? I think I asked before. I don't remember. If it is, double check. Now I know there's different ways you can download it. You can either download it like in pieces, or you can download the entire installation package just in one go. I would check that. You know, if you did download the individual pieces, but it would. I want to say it would fail if something happened with that. Um, Man, let me see. There's a guide. Oh, on AVSim P3D guide that I used. That's freaking amazing. P3D publications. Yeah, P3D guide. Here we go. And I used this, and there we go. And that helped a lot in regards to making sure the environment is, you know, ready for um, P3D, because I had a lot of problems. I mean, a lot of problems getting it set up initially. But once you get past that initial setup, Mr. Woods, never fear, it works great until you start having failing hardware issues like I am. But man, that's weird. Yep, fresh install. Yeah, double check that just to make sure all your bases are covered. Because I know that was a big one, was like where it's installed. Because depending on your operating system, I know Windows 10, you know, has a lot of issues with permissions and things like that, and some installs just don't play well on the C drive, which I've experienced that firsthand. And what I did, which my C drive is really small anyway. What I did, I put mine. I think it's like in the D drive, re drive, one of them, one of those, and works great. Haven't had any issues whatsoever. I just blanked out just that quick. Oh cow. Okay, there we go. All right. Flight director on. Let's see. Toggle button. Nav mode armed. And then what I like to do is go ahead and set your heading bug for that. In fact, we might. Yeah, actually what we'll do. We'll fly runway heading coming out of here. So make sure you got your spoilers set. Flaps are set. Auto brake to takeoff. Let's see, trim is set. Lights to strobe. Weather radar on. I have a feeling we'll be needing that. Auto ignition all the way to both. We'll be doing a PAX on takeoff. And yeah, should be good to go. So we'll go ahead and take the active there. But yeah, that's really, yeah, like I said, I've had that issue before. What was it? What was mine? Oh, try deleting, I do this, Mr. Woods, before you do any uninstalling or anything. Try deleting that CFG file. Try deleting that. And I want to say that, and well, I had a shader issue. But try deleting that CFG file, and letting it rebuild and see what happens before you do anything drastic. You know, I know sometimes that can cause some problems, cause a few issues here and there. All right, looks like we're about lined out there. All apply takeoff power. Takeoff power there. Looking for that 1.4 on the EPR. And then we'll kick in auto throttle. All right, gonna come up with power a little bit.
Takeoff thrust set.
All right, waiting for that clamp pronunciation. All right, watching our engine real quick, making sure we're good there. All right, looks like the engines are lined out. Waiting for that to call for V1.
V1. Rotate.
All right. Ooh, a little bit of wind.
Positive rate.
All right, go ahead and call gear up. And go ahead and come up with a little bit. Get that 20-degree
Gear up. Lights out.
pitch. All right. Yeah, it's a little bumpy, but not terrible. All right, looks like we're coming up nicely there. We'll go ahead and hit that VNAV button. Start getting this airplane cleaned up. I noticed this kind of helps a lot there, so you can fly that flight director as accurately as possible. And let that trim help you out. Nice and trimmed out there. There we go. That's nice. All right. Start working out those flaps. Watching that speed come up. And of course, as you speed up, your trim requirements are going to change. Just be ready, because she will pitch up as that speed comes up. All right, retract those slats.
Slats retracted.
All right, so we're gonna go ahead and set that climb thrust there. Let auto help us out real quick, because what we're gonna have to do, we have to make the left turn. Oh yeah, it's about to be interesting. And we bring up those landing lights, jump over here, bring those hydraulics down to low, off and off. Love this airplane, keeps you so busy, I love it. All right, yeah, it's gonna get a little rocky there. We're going to leave the auto ignition on in case we hit a pocket of rain. And keep those engines lit. So they got some weather there. We're going to zoom in a little bit. I'm not too concerned about the green. There's mostly rain, but what I am concerned about is the light green, sometimes red, depending. Depending on the intensity. Let's see. All right. So being that we are going to be dealing quite a bit with the weather today, let's try again to a little summarization of how weather radar actually works. So basically what you're looking at, you're not so much looking at the clouds, but you're looking at the amount of water vapor or the water droplets in the clouds. So a lot of times your droplet size is also a good indicator of, you know, like a strong updrafts or a lot of you know, a lot of, you know, convective activity, cumulonimbus clouds, things like that. A real good indicator of turbulence. So, which is the reason why, basically, that's what that turbulence button is on a lot of aircraft. You press it, and it does some little math in the background, things like that, and it'll adjust the colors accordingly. If you know the intensity and droplet size and things like that, you know, um, if they're showing something that could be indicative of severe turbulence. So let's see. I had to get my flight management system. There we go. Now we're tracking. All right. Which gives you a, you know, like I said, a good idea of, you know, thunderstorms, things like that, and all that fun stuff. Also, being mindful of your antenna angle. I saw a lot as far as trying to get an idea of where the worst of it is, you know, the worst of it is. All right, looks like we're looking pretty good back there. I don't. We'll lock that. And coming out 13 grand straight up to 320. And we did all this, right? And this is one of the reasons why I'm terrible at this new ACAR system. So basically, actually, it's a pretty cool feature if you keep up with it. But you have your on and off times. They're now tracked. So we're out of the gate at 19:31. Sorry, it's my doorbell. We're out of the gate 19:31, and we're off at 19:30. So you can also enter your fuel here, right? Which right now our fuel is like completely off. We might be able to kind of guesstimate a little bit. I don't know, do like what 16.3 or something for here, but I know we started out like 18, so we'll do 18 point out of the gate, 19 point. Let's see. At this point, just wild guessing. That's kind of where when it helps to have that first officer to throw those figures in there for you. 18.3. We'll do that. Which I got a feeling that's still going to be kind of, I think we're probably going to be leaning more towards like 17 something. Actually, I'm totally guessing because there's no way you burn that much fuel between there and there. Although it could be. Could very well be. Alright, so we're coming up on 18,000. Alright, 18,000, so we'll be dialing in our standard barometric pressure up to 902, not 3. Alright, so yeah, I've got our on and off times here. And then you can also en route in diversions, any kind of reporting or anything you can do. I think I've gone through this before, I don't know. We can also do weather requests, so do weather request station Kilo. I have to see what's going on in Monroe right now. So Kilo Mike Kalima uniform, I think. Send. And we'll get a little call there from 8 cars. So received message with a report. So yeah, I mean, it looks like they're getting a little weather in Monroe, which is the longer route here. Actually, be crossing over it here shortly. Got a little, let's see, winds are out of the north are 8 knots. Visibility is 10 with mist. A couple layers here, so broken at 600, overcast at 1700. And temperature is pretty close, so those kind of make sense. Temperature and dew point. Now, temperature's pretty low, so that's about right. Then we can go here and just kind of see what's going on. What's going on in Dallas at the moment. So W, send, wait for the little ring, and receive messages with a report. Alright, so it's not terrible right now. It should be okay. Let's see, make sure, check our pressurization panel. Sure, cabin's climbing nicely. I'll go ahead and turn off that ignition for right now. And so far, so good. Everything's set, looks good there. Alright, cool. And so we're going to go back to menu, then we'll go to our progress screen there. And a bit of a headwind, so be fighting that a little bit, but it's not too bad. Not too bad. $24,000. Looks pretty good so far. Oh man, oh yeah, forgot to mention. So right now, Orbix, they're running a sale right now to the 27th of May, I believe, for scenery. So there's some scenery you have yet to pick up from Orbix. Probably now will be the time to snag it. I think you can get a lot of their regional scenery, like the Central Rockies, Pacific Northwest. I think you can get that for like $19 right now. So I mean, not bad at all in regards to price. Definitely not bad at all. So definitely worth checking out if you have not checked it out yet. It's all of the Orbit scenery, like literally everything. So like San Diego scenery, Eagleville, Colorado, really cheap. So I've been actually kind of looking at maybe doing a little bush flying. And I know a lot of those airports that are within, like, for example, like the Central Rockies, they've all been updated, so you'll find those dirt strips, land in those. Speaking of bush flying, so I'm not sure if you guys are familiar with a company called Sibwings. So Sibwings did the Antonov AN2, which those of you who aren't familiar with the Antonov AN2, it is the largest biplane that's ever been created. And No, I take that back. It's the world's longest running. Um, as far as manufacturing, I think I think they stopped making like 2006 or something like that. And they've been around since like the, I don't know, bloody 40s or 50s or something like that. It's like 45 years, I think. And really, really rugged airplane. It's a radial engine. The systems are quite unique in terms of the brakes. Instead of being like hydraulic like most brake systems are, these are actually pneumatic. So you actually need air pressure for the brakes to work. Very unique airplane. Can get in literally anywhere. Um, I think the stall speed's like something crazy, like 40 knots or something like that. I mean, you're literally floating. Really, really nice airplane. And I think they've just released it. Those of you who have siblings or purchased the one for FXX, I think you can upgrade for like 15 bucks, like 12, 15 bucks, something like that. So I went ahead and jumped on that. I have had some issues with it though. I had a graphically, actually, it's you get like a black box around the in between the wings, and it's just does all kinds of weirdness, which is one of the main reasons why I have yet to stream it. So hopefully get that lined out, and I can show it to you guys. Really excited about it, and but there is no, I mean, there's really not a place to throw a GTN 750, which I think is like the go-to GPS lately. All right, 1,000 foot, almost there. Yeah, it's like the go-to GPS for pretty much everything flight sim. So wherever it is, 747, throw GTN 750 in it. Concorde, throw GTN 750 in it. Cessna 172, GTN 750, you name it, we're gonna try to slam a GTN 750 in it. Which isn't always the case. I mean, you can accomplish a lot with like a 430. The 650 is actually really nice. You might be able to, I don't know, maybe someone could probably come up with like a location on the panel for like a 650, but I think a 750 and that just be a little too much, in my opinion. Now, Milviz has that. I've just been looking at a lot. Wow, look at those guys over there. Like I said, I've been really looking to get back into a little more into the low and slow type of things. I mean, I love my tube liners. There's no sense of me lying, but it's kind of after a while, it's kind of going from point A to point B. It gets a little old at times, so better find something a little new. But I don't know, just something about this shiny aluminum that I really never get tired of. So yeah, it's, as you guys can tell, there's a lot of action going on over there. I know this morning we got slammed. So hopefully that's passed by the time we get there, which where we're at now. So I'd say about, I don't know, maybe 30, 40 minutes should be starting our descent into Dallas. But I mean, as far as like crazy releases are concerned, I know Quality Wings. Those of you who hadn't really dealt with Quality Wings, they've done the 787 and 757 for FXX. They pushed an update for the 757 for P3D. So needless to say, I mean, there are screenshots. I mean, there are freaking 757 screenshots everywhere right now. Everybody's flying it. People have said a lot of good things about it. I just haven't really jumped on it just yet. Not sure why I just haven't jumped on it. I mean, they do great work. It just seems as if that the 757. I'm gonna wait till maybe they do maybe a few more updates to it. It seems like I don't know, just the fidelity a little low. As of right now, I use flight factor on X-Plane. The flight factor 757. I use that one to kind of satisfy my. If I'm craving a 757 that day, I'll fire up X-Plane and use that one. But then between that and the King Air, it's been. I'll go ahead and hit those right now. It's been pretty interesting, to say the least. So, the 787, I haven't really jumped on that one just yet. I don't know. I don't do a whole lot of long hauls, so I have yet to jump on that one. But it looks really, like, all the screenshots I've seen look phenomenal. Look phenomenal with it. So, let's see, turn this off real quick and turn that off. But hopefully we should be getting a few more big releases. I know GSX, they're doing another big update for their ground services add-on for P3D. They're going with it reminds me a lot. That's what it is. I mean, it reminds me a lot of better pushback in regards to the type of pushback they're using. They're using the one, I think, that actually lifts the nozzle of the aircraft up, then pushes it back, which, I mean, you run into all types of varieties. So I'm hoping they just don't go with solely that, or they give the user a bit of an option as far as, what tug they want to use, which, I mean, I guess you're going to have an option. Really, I don't know. I don't know how they're going to do that. I don't know if they're going to have it set up in some sort of a random, type deal. I'm not exactly sure on that, but that should be coming down the pipeline here shortly. Actually, I think in the next, from the way it looks, it looks like the next couple of weeks, they're going to be releasing that. So that's going to be, excuse me, actually pretty interesting to see how that pans out. A lot of weather over there. I mean, a lot. Oh, I hope we missed that. I mean, I don't think we're going to have any problems with it, but then again, I don't know. Let's see here. I don't think we're going to. Yeah, it looks like that's all kind of to the south of us for right now. Like it's a fairly quick flight from Jack, like 400 or something. It seems like far. It seems like it's far, but it's really not. Maybe like an hour or so, give or take. But I will say this. I mean, those of you who haven't had the opportunity to try X-Plane, I'm not steering anyone here or there. Honestly, I would recommend anyone to, try their hand at both. Maybe try to own both. But there's a new Dash 8 that look, it's like a developer, Skyline Simulations, I think they're working on Dash 8. And another big one that I've been kind of looking at is a Coronado's ATR 42. I've been really looking at that. Looks like they just pushed another update for it. So that's going to be really interesting. I haven't heard a lot of people slander it as much as individuals slander Coronado products this time. So this one looks like it might be fairly decent. I know turboprops are kind of hard to deal with in P3D, so I'm not I'm not faulting them at all for that, but we've, I'm sure a lot of us have purchased Coronado products in the past, and I mean some of them are really good, and then some of them, seems like uh, they're more involved as far as system wise. They're more involved aircraft tend to have more issues than anything else. So, been entertaining the idea of checking that out. There's just been a lot of activity on both sides. X-plane, X-crafts. I think they're in the process of testing their Embraer family series. So the ERJ 145 LR, the 145 XR, and the Embraer 135. They're actively working on, which is going to be nice. I'm a little bummed out though because we don't. I know Airsoft. I know you guys remember that the CRJ 700, 900 they did. I don't know. It just seems as if they, haven't heard anything in regards to like updates or anything. Now I was wondering if maybe they'll, release a texture, even like a texture update to kind of sharpen up the textures a little bit. But it seems like it's been pretty much all but abandoned. So we'll kind of see. I may check the forums eventually and kind of see what's going to happen with that, because I know I'm not the only one asking. Because we're still hurting on the regional side. There's not many. I know the Q400, we still have that, obviously, but there's a lot of, like Q400s. You don't see any. I've yet to see one anywhere in the southeast. The only turboprop I've been seeing, Silver Airways, which Silver Airways is the outfit down around like South Florida. They bought a lot of the old Masaba Saab 340s, the B pluses that they used to have, and ran those for quite some time. Well, now it looks as if they made a big purchase from ATR, and they're starting to run the ATR 42-600, which speed wise, of course ATR hasn't really been known for speed, but as far as comfort, they seem to be a lot, tons, as far as passenger space. Tons of space in the cabin. Almost, if you weren't paying attention, almost jet-like as far as space is concerned and passenger comfort. So, I am quite, interested to see how that pans out. For Silver Airways, since I can have a little small, have a little spot in my heart for carriers who continue to try to, continue to run turboprops, especially in the U.S. Everybody's jump on the RJ bandwagon, so you got your, 175s, 170s, and then Airbus has their, or Canadair, one of them, that 220, the Airbus 220, that Delta's running now, and so you just don't see a lot of the turboprops that you used to see. Even like the CRJ 200. They're still flying the stun out of that. So I don't see any time in the near future, the turboprop market coming up any more than what it already is. So like I said, it's nice to see, see them still running the turboprops. Which, and if anyone's wondering, if someone did decide to do a Silver Airways paint scheme or livery for the Aeronautics A42, I might go ahead and bite the bullet and try it out and see how she rolls. Um, they got the hotel mode working, which quite surprised. I think the last ATR we had was Flight 1's ATR, but I think that was a 72, if I'm not mistaken. Well, if I'm not mistaken, but hotel mode is basically they use I don't know, I can't remember. I don't know if it's I don't know, I can't remember, but it's a prop brake. So they engage the propeller brake, and they'll run the compressor side of the engine to provide bleed air for the air conditioning and power. So it's kind of like a, you know, I don't want to say poor man's APU because it's pretty expensive, I'm sure, to run that, but it's kind of like an APU, which I can kind of see that approach. I know the Q400 has an APU as well, but from what I've been told, I mean, you're lucky to find one that functions. So maybe I don't know. Maybe using the engine to be a little more reliable. I don't know. I mean, I would imagine from a maintenance standpoint, you know, those prop brakes are fairly expensive to service. You know, one would assume. I don't know if like as far as the increased hours on the engine makes a difference as far as like I don't know the ramifications maintenance wise if it would be conducive to just run that thing all the time as much as you would run a standalone auxiliary power unit. You know, since I mean most airports that you run into that have an ATR 42 something like that service, they don't have a GPU. So I don't know. I don't know. But be kind of curious to see how that works out for him. I know the Saabs, they never had any of that, and they're just used, you know, killed everything. You know, everybody boarded. You might get, well, most of the outstations had ground power, so you know you could at least maybe run the recirculation fans to kind of keep a little air blowing. But for the most part, you know, you just crack the hatch up top and got a little bit of airflow. So it looks like we got some weather just east of Wait. A little bit of weather there, so we might try to thread the needle. Let's go down here to our radar controls. See what we're looking at here. Alright, so I adjusted the antenna down a little bit, and you guys have to wait for the antenna to make another sweep and update. See if we can get an idea of the tops. Okay, so not terribly high. A little rain in the middle, but it's not terrible. They reduce the okay. So yeah, let's do that. Let's try to thread the needle a little bit. See if we can get around this. I think. No, I say that and then we get hammered here in a minute, but I think if we there, we might be alright. Then just run direct to, I don't know what intersection that is there. Olden or Olin. One of those. I don't know, I can't tell. Let's see. See if that keeps us out of the woods. I remember back in the day, back when like Flight 79, oh god, even before that, Flight 795 and all those guys came out. What looked like a thumb, like we were impressed just to get lightning. And you know, you'll fly through storms, okay, lightning, cool, whatever, and that was it. And then, you know, Hi-Fi Sim came, and you know, they finally, you know, made you nervous to fly into one of these things now. So especially now, I think I flew into one. I made the mistake of flying into one, and I mean, I think I overstressed the ended up overstressing the airframe, which was kind of interesting, but you know, makes you, you know, it gives you a little bit of, you know, a little, you know, extra, you know, extra, you know, persuasion of not flying into them if you can avoid it. Incentive, that's the word I'm looking for. Try to stay out of there. See if we can slide right on through. Catch Palmer. And direct, and should be starting a descent, but right there. And I think 3-5 is the favored runway right now, so hopefully be able to slide right on in 3-5. We'll go ahead and hit the seatbelt sign real quick. I was hoping all of this would have swung south, but apparently that didn't happen. Now let's do a quick once over the panel, make sure everything looks good. Nothing out of the ordinary. Like 50 pounds steering tank. Okay, let's try to widen this out just a little bit. Try to give these things as much room as possible. Let's see. Oops. Let's see, where are we? Let's see, airport. Okay, I think that Tyler or Nacogdoches is over there. So let's see, let's pull some weather for Nacogdoches and see what it looks like down there. Alright, let's go to received messages, weather report, overcast, thunderstorm in the vicinity, lightning distance southwest, north. Yeah. So, I mean, having the ACARs, it does help quite a bit. You know, as far as, you know, what's going on around you, what this weather is trying to do. Let's see. All right. I mean, it looks like we're almost just level with a lot of these tops. You can almost kind of see our little path here we can take. Kind of interesting from a wing view. Pretty close. Alright, see, I think we can kind of start creeping over. Let's see. I think we'll be alright. Oh yeah. And what, we're about 60 miles from our time of descent, which actually what we can do, can kind of give ourselves a good rundown of what we're doing as far as the approach is concerned. I think from Bree, we can probably just take that direct to Tandy. And let's see, where is, there we go. There we go. So we'll probably, from Bree, just take that Tandy. That's the plan, at least, for right now. Although that can change. I'm just kind of watching this weather. Alright, so we're passing the majority of the bad stuff. And oh yeah, those cells, they're nasty. We'll probably give it a few more miles and then we'll probably do direct outline. And in fact, might be able to do that now. Let's go ahead and do that now. And let's do that now. And then we just can't forget to hit nav on our autopilot there. There we go. Looks pretty good so far. And I mean, of course, you know, I mean, we're taking a lot of effort to dodge weather, and I mean, more often than not, I mean, it's not so much as, you know, you're worried about breaking the airplane, but there's a lot of things that could happen. I mean, and I've seen, I mean, you'll see pictures of hail damage. I mean, lots of those hail damage where the nose cone's just destroyed. You know, you may get, you know, a lot of hail that could potentially damage the engines. I know just so much rain where you just choke out the engines, you end up flaming out. You'll, you know, and then, you know, overall passenger comfort, you know, so. Ah, there we go. There we go. There we go. There we go. A little bumpy there. A little bumpy. Had to see the wing view for a minute. let's see. Alright, so you got, we're starting our descent here in just a moment. About 32 miles, we'll be starting our descent. We'll go ahead and set our ILS up here. Got a feeling we're going to be pretty busy. Let's see, 356. All right. And we'll go ahead and make that call. Get everything tied down for landing. Into good old Dallas. Let's see. And how far? We're about 100 miles out. I'll probably wait till we get about 60, now about 89 miles out, and then we'll do one more weather request to make sure we get the most accurate field conditions, and we'll give this thing a shot. Hopefully we can get in there. I do see a few sails. We have a few sails off our 12 and 11, 12 o'clock up there, and actually looks like something developing over there. It's hard to tell. And looks like we're about to be going right through one. That'll be really interesting. So that leg from Bree, the Tandy, looks like it goes straight through a sail. The wind's coming kind of south, from the southwest. So I'm not sure. It's like it might be blowing this way, but then kind of hard to tell. Let's see if we go ahead and get field conditions for Dallas. No, not there. Request. ATIS. Let's see. KDFW. I don't think that's it. No, it's not it. Weather request. There we go. KDFW. Send. Okay, received messages. Okay. So it looks like it's out of the area. We just gotta get there. Menu. Alright, Prague. Alright. Let's see, 6,000. There we go. Alright, so we got our descent and everything set there. And let's see what happens here. Alright, starting their descent. Alright, let's pull this up real quick. And real quick and see what we got. Alright, so it's like there's one cell there. And I'm gonna angle the antenna down just a little bit. Alright, it looks like the intensity's pretty significant. Let's see. Alright, I might not be able to just go throw this thing in heading mode. It'll be quite interesting getting in here. And also we've got something going on there on the left hand side there as well. So what I would like to try to do is see if we can kind of get that little corridor there and see if maybe we can at least get us to our final approach point. Zoom in a little more. I know if we follow that turn, we'll just slam right into it. Yeah, yeah, we're not gonna have a choice but to go around. No choice at all. And we'll go ahead and hit this out condition just in case. Now we're gonna have a little bit of rain. A little bit of an echo right here, so we might get a little turbulence out of this. Yep, there we go. There she goes. Yep, there she goes. Yep. Taking a little drag there. Alright. Alright, go ahead and get out of the speed brakes there. Alright, see if we can increase the vertical speed and see if we can make this left turn here. Okay. Okay. Alright, let's see if we can continue this turn. You're just waiting for that one sweep to just ruin your day. Oh yeah, there we go. There we go. Just let me get around you there, we'll be okay. Let me get around you, we'll be okay. Alright, 17,000 feet. Oh yeah, there we go. Go ahead and kick in some speed brake there. Yep, there it is. Come on through it. Come on through it. Come on through it. Oh yeah. Goodness gracious, that's nasty. Alright, where were we supposed to be at on that Tandy? You're supposed to be at 6,000, perfect. Okay. Speed brake still in, we're gonna hold that in for right now. I feel like I'm about to catch another shear here in a minute. Alright, looking pretty good so far. We'll go ahead and make that direct handy. I mean, we're going to be right next to that cell. Oh, buddy. Right next to that cell. That looks like that will ruin your day. But we're going to fly the approach best we can, and if it gets too bad, we're just going to have to try our alternate. Gonna be really close. Really close. Alright, direct candy. Execute that. Nav. Alright, girl, hold together. We're going in. Going in. Alright, I'm gonna go ahead and take over speed mode. Oh. Oh. Still got auto brake in. Oh yeah. I don't think we're gonna make 250 by the time we hit 10,000, but one would assume they'll give you a little bit of a pass with all this weather in the area. But it is the FAA, so try to slow down as much as we can. I need to slide over here and get our left and right hydraulics on, trans and aux pump on. Alright, it's like right at about 250. Landing lights on. Actually, we can extend them and help us out as far as speed is concerned. Bring down that vertical speed a little bit to about 1800. And still fill the line out. Whoop. Alright. Alright, okay. Looks like we're getting DME from ILS there, so that's a good sign. $8,000 feet, looking pretty good. Okay. I'm pretty close to 6,000. Alright. Go ahead and flip this over to ARC. And go ahead and ILS. Alright, looks like she's capturing the localizer. Got the localizer right there. Alright, gonna be passing Tandy, so I'm gonna try for 4,000. Alright, this is where it's nice to have those slats, so we'll use those slats there. We're well within parameters. That's how to get my flaps up. Alright. Put that vertical speed. And it'll get slow. About 210 there. And might try flaps 11 there. work on, let's see here, 2,000 feet. I don't know, guys, we might have to go mist on this one. Might have to go mist on this one. Alright, we'll just go ahead. We'll throw everything out but the kitchen sink, see if we can get it. See if we can chase that glide slope. Yeah, we got it right there. See if we can establish flaps 15. Where's our flap speed? Flaps 15 below 240. Alright, go ahead and give me flaps 15. Alright, looks like we're tracking the glide slope right there. Let's see, what, 195 for 28 through 40? Perfect. Alright. Spoilers are armed. Oh yeah, we're gonna be... She does not want to slow down. Alright, go ahead and give me flaps 28. Alright, landing lights on both sides. Auto brake, medium.
1,000.
Alright, let's see here. Have control. Double. US turns.
400. 300. 200. 100.
Okay.
Light slow.
Alright.
30. 20. 10.
Alright, I'm out of it. Okay. 60 knots. First lights out. Alrighty, and we'll get out of those brakes there and take this high speed exit. Wow, that got sketchy. That got sketchy quick. Alright, slow down, girl. Good job, slow down. There we go. Alright, let's go ahead and get cleaned up here. We had to throw everything but the kitchen sink out there, but we got her slowed down. Everything was within limits. Don't think we overstressed anything. Other than our seat pads. A bit of a pucker factor, but kind of curious. It's like, man, technically we didn't have a stabilized approach. I wouldn't call that stabilized, but you know, far from stabilized in fact, but yeah. Alright, get an APU on. Let's see here, clear that master. Strobe lights off. All call that good. And we'll go ahead and kill one. All right, let's see here. All right, go ahead and we'll just ease out of it. All right, cool. Let's see. And the APU's on. Sometimes you'll get that. Just reset that bus real quick. And there she goes. And galley power on. We'll need that. And we'll go ahead and kill number 2. And slide over here. Air on. And let's see here. That's off. That's off. And let's see. Start pump. There we go. Off, off. I clear that. Let's see. Off, off, and off. And any collision light off. And cool. We'll go ahead and call that gate and get hooked up, and that should be it, ladies and gentlemen. Very interesting flight, but seems like it was a fairly successful one. Mr. Woods, I hope you get that P3D lined out. If you don't, if you've got any more questions, make sure you send me a message or post on the comments there, and I'll respond. But other than that, guys, man, I appreciate you all swinging by. I really do. Almost at 100 subs, so that's awesome. Really stoked about that. And other than that, man, you guys have a great rest of your Sunday, and we'll be seeing you guys here soon. Take care.